Hi everyone and welcome to my coverage of the Candidates Tournament 2011. It's just a quick introductory video today. I was planning on studying one of the games from the first round, but they were all draws, which aren't as interesting to talk about, as I'm sure you'll agree. In case any of you don't know, the Candidates Tournament is being played over the course of the next month to determine who will play the world champion Vishy Anand for the title early next year. As a result, it is of course a massive event, and all eyes in the chess world are upon Kazan in Russia, where it's taking place after much dispute. Each of the 8 grandmasters taking part have worked very hard to get there, earning their places in various ways. It's a knockout structure with 4 games per match and tie-breaks in the event of a draw. Paired together for the first round, the quarter-finals are 8th seed Gatikamsky, the fresh American champion, and top seed Bulgarian Veselin Topalov, who lost in his bid to defeat Anand last year and earned his place in this tournament as a result of that. Ironically enough, Kamsky earned the right to play in this tournament as a result of losing to Topalov last year in the challenger match to determine who would play Anand. Out of the two, Topalov would be a big favourite. His rating is 40 points higher, which isn't that much, but most people would agree that he's in a different league from Kamsky. I predict Topalov will win, although I would like to see Kamsky victorious, as I'm not a fan of Topalov after the infamous 2006 World Championships. Also paired together are Boris Gelfand and Shakhriyar Mehmedjarov. Gelfand, a naturalized Israeli, qualified by winning the 2009 World Cup and is a brilliant positional player. Mehmedjarov was the wild card chosen by the Azerbaijani panel when the tournament was scheduled to take place in Azerbaijan, and was allowed to remain in the tournament despite the host country changing to Russia. He's really the dark horse of the tournament and certainly one to watch. His playing style is unusual in that he sometimes plays risky and experimental opens which lead to very creative and sometimes unorthodox attacks that are very difficult to handle. It should be a good match between the two. Gelfand is a force to be reckoned with, but my money's on Mehmedjarov. Paired next are the 3rd and 6th seeds respectively, Levin Aronian and Alexander Grishuk. Aronian is a deeply talented player from Armenia, who's on great form and, by most accounts, the favourite to win the entire tournament. He's the only player in the tournament ranked over 2800, with the other 7 spread fairly evenly across the 2700s. He has very high standards for his game, and generally he keeps to those standards. He's an incredibly accurate player, a fearsome attacker, and superb endgame player, similar in many ways to Bobby Fischer. Currently he's ranked number 3 in the world, and he qualified for the candidates by winning the FIDE Grand Prix of 2008 to 2010. His opponent is the Russian player Alexander Grishuk, who was the Russian national champion in 2009, which is no small feat on its own, and he's also one of the best blitz players in the world. Like Mehmedjarov, he's lucky to be in the tournament and only taking place because Magnus Carlsen, the world number 2 at the moment, but widely regarded the best player in the world, withdrew a few months ago, much to the dismay of the chess world. It was an unbelievable decision, and one can't help but feel Kasparov's influence on the young star, as the former had been training the latter close to the time. Carlsen wrote an open letter to FIDE stating his reasons for withdrawing, which were mostly to do with the tournament structure. Personally, I think this was a weak decision. If he wanted changes, he should have won the World Championship on FIDE's terms and then demanded his changes. Not only must he be regretting this ill-advised decision now, but if and when he qualifies for the next cycle, there will be even more pressure on him than usual, as if he loses, it will look much worse. What's more, FIDE are unlikely to change the tournament structure, posing a difficult decision next time around. Will he do the same again, or swallow his apparent principles and play by their rules? Neither is an appealing option. Out of Aronian and Grishuk, Aronian should come out on top, although today he had a winning position with the white pieces, but time trouble resulted in a draw, which was a lucky escape for Grishuk, who's getting a reputation as something of a swindler. He now has 2 of the 3 remaining games with the white pieces, so Aronian has some work to do. The final pairing is ex-world champion and Russian Vladimir Kramnik against another Azerbaijani, Timur Rajabov. Kramnik is a fantastic player. He's one of the hardest to beat in the world and an endgame virtuoso. He won the world title from none other than Garry Kasparov in the year 2000, and Kasparov did not win one game against him. He used to have a super solid style but has started taking more risks recently, leading to some brilliant games. Timur Rajabov is a gifted player too, and notably he's one of the only top grandmasters who will still play the King's Indian defence, and it's fair to say that he's one of the world's best players of it with the black pieces. Kramnik, on the other hand, is one of the best players in the world with the white side. So hopefully tomorrow, that's Friday, we will see the first of two games that should feature this opening. The King's Indian, which is about getting on for 100 years old now. And undoubtedly both players have prepared something, and it should lead to a very interesting battle. As far as the match between them goes, Kramnik is the favourite, but Rajabov can't be counted out. Regarding the rest of the tournament, I think we will see Topalov against Mamedjarov in the next round, and Aronian against Kramnik, which should both be great matches. However, you never can tell how things will go when there's tie breaks involved, but my feeling is that those are the semi-finals we will see. It would be great to see Kramnik against Topalov in the final, as they are mortal enemies, but there's a long way to go before we get there, not least of all Aronian and Mamedjarov amongst all the rest. I'll be watching the games live on chessbomb.com. My username is Distrudo, and games start at midday Greenwich Mean Time. So I hope to see you there. Thanks very much.